Недвижимость в Эмиратах сейчас покупают по трем главным причинам. Первое – это сохранение капитала. Второе – это получение ВНЖ за границей. И третье – это получение банковского счета. Учитывая, что за последние 1,5 года спрос на недвижимость в Эмиратах вырос просто в разы, купить в Дубае сейчас очень дорого. Даже в Абу-Даби или в Ras-Al-Khaimah купить сейчас тоже не так просто. Очень большой спрос и очень большой хайп вокруг этих локаций. И теперь вопрос. Можно ли где-то поблизости купить недвижимость, и чтобы застройщик помог вам получить ВНЖ и даже помог вам открыть банковский счет? Для того, чтобы ответить на этот вопрос, мы приехали к застройщику Dar Global. Это застройщик того самого проекта AIDA, который мы снимали в предыдущем выпуске. Если вы еще не смотрели это видео, то обязательно перейдите по ссылке, посмотрите. Мы побывали на самой локации этого проекта и обсудили вообще, что там есть поблизости. И сегодня мы встретимся с директором по развитию бизнеса застройщика Dar Global и попробуем ответить на те самые вопросы, которые я озвучил ранее. Вы смотрите канал Денис Недвиж. Меня зовут Денис. Поехали. Hi, Pola.
Hi, Dennis.
Thank you for having us here. By the way, amazing office.
Thank you so much.
I was in your your offices are typically very nice, but this is just the next level, right?
Yes.
I would like to introduce you to everyone. Pola, we've been working for a long time now together.
Correct.
And now you are head of business development of Dar Global, a company, international company, a sister company of Dar Al-Arkan, a Saudi company. And now you guys are making a big move on your international market, right?
Correct. So Dar Global is actually the international investment arm of Dar Al-Arkan, which is the parent company. Mm-hmm. We're a London-listed company, and obviously we have now projects in more than 7 cities around the world.
Paula, today we asked, again, thank you for having us, first of all, and we asked to have this conversation with you. I think it's going to be more like a conversation, not an interview, because again, we've known each other for a long time, and I just want to talk to you about a project that you have now, a very, very massive project that everyone is talking now in the market in Oman, right?
Correct.
It's a country literally 45 minutes away. We went there recently. We flew from Dubai to Oman. It feels like you're going from here to not even Abu Dhabi, right? It's a 45-minute flight. Abu Dhabi is 1 hour drive away, so it feels very close. And from the airport, we also took it took us about 15-20 minutes, maybe.
20 minutes, exactly.
About 20 minutes from the airport to get to the site. And we ended up in this location right at the edge of the sea, on the
Gulf of Oman, you mean?
Yeah, on the Gulf of Oman.
Yes.
Yeah. Beautiful views, and planned to be a golf course there, which I think is going to be iconic. I love golf, and we've been together on the launch of the golf course here in the Damak Hills also. And what's similar about the Damak Hills golf course to this one is that they will be both by trem, right?
Yeah.
And I remember I was one of the first members. You guys gifted us actually the membership back then for the Damak golf course, and we were one of the first members. I remember we were playing golf, and there was literally nobody on the golf course. We were the only ones. So I remember I would be playing, no one behind, no one ahead, and total at that point I think members was like maybe 30, 40, and I was wondering if it will be like that all the time. No. Now I think they have close to, don't know the exact number, but if you want to play golf now, it's all booked up. And when you go to a golf course, if you're playing now, you will never play alone now. I don't think there's a very low chance. It will be you with another 3 people. There will be 4 people behind you, 4 people in front, and every hole is going to be having people, right?
Yeah.
So it's a very successful golf course. Now this golf course is planned to be also in Oman.
And I think the success of choosing the right brand to join you in a country or on a project is the reality is that today the Trump organization worked very hard to create their destinations or golf courses to actually cater for international events. And this is what drives footfall and traffic, right? So they will create these certain local championships or regional championships or sometimes even international championships in different locations to promote those locations. And that's what automatically allows people to come and experience that golf course and start using it regularly. So is the case with generally everything, right? I mean, till people get to know it, they don't know that it exists. So the job is always trying to bring them on board to get that experience. And I think Oman for us is that, because people don't know much about Oman. Today, if you're living in Dubai all your life or you've been here for a very long time, Oman is very well known to us as people that have been around the city. Just because it's always been a place that is very close by. You go there on your holidays when you have a 3-4 day break, not a very long break. So and the weather is typically a little bit better than Dubai, just because of the virtue of that they have the beauty of both worlds, the mountains as well as the beaches. So if you want a better weather, you just go to the mountain areas and you enjoy a drop in temperature, versus if you want the sun and the sun tanning and the beach, you go to their beaches, and they're quite well known as well for diving and all those sea activities basically. So
True. Just wanted to follow up on, you said that not a lot of people know about this, about the just generally, to be honest, about the real estate in Oman. Do you think that there is a potential that we've seen the Dubai market?
You have to understand the DNA of every city and what it stands for. Today, Oman is a hidden gem. They don't believe that this is a city that is as dynamic as a Dubai market. It's just like as if you're talking about even in the UK, if you compare a London versus a different location that is a little bit further away from London. Each city has its own DNA. Dubai is all about that nightlife, morning, work life. You're always career driven. You're always ahead of the game. Versus Oman is about natural beauty, about calmness. It's about holidays. And this is what the country is all about. So today what they promote themselves as a holiday destination. It's all about, that natural beauty, and tourism. This is what they want to promote. They want to promote that they have how can I say it, this untouched beauty that is given to them, from God, and that they want to keep it as close to that natural presence that they've been given at. And this is why Oman is, the promotion of Oman is very different than, if you compare it to other cities like Dubai, London, New York, and so on.
When it comes to AIDA itself, again, our viewers have seen the video of us going to the site. Again, thank you guys for inviting us. It was an amazing experience. When it comes to the project itself, what do you think makes it different from the projects we know in Dubai? And why do you think that could potentially be the next hype? Again, Dubai had a lot of demand. Abu Dhabi, people started buying a lot. Now Ras Al Khaimah, people are buying a lot. But Oman is not too far from even Ras Al Khaimah. Again, like Ras Al Khaimah, it takes an hour and a half sometimes to get there by car. Oman is 45 minutes flight. What do you think can potentially make AIDA the next thing for not just the Middle Eastern buyers, but also for clients from Russia, from the CIS countries, etc.?
I would never compare Oman to Dubai. It's not a fair comparison. I would definitely compare it to Ras Al Khaimah, because again, Ras Al Khaimah is perceived as a holiday destination, basically. As you always buy a second home typically over there, more than actually your primary home. And I today Oman for us as under Dar Global, it's perceived as a second home or a holiday home. I think maybe let me take a step back and explain to you the name AIDA and what it means, because I think the name automatically will kind of tell you the story of why we think AIDA is going to be the next hype in Oman as well as in the GCC market. AIDA is basically a feminine name. It's a name of a beautiful female, and it means a gift from God. And the reason why we decided to name this project is because today, if you look at the GCC, we were given an opportunity where we got a land that sits 130 meters above the Gulf of Oman, with views of the sea, unobstructed views of the sea. And no matter where you're standing, at whatever depth or far away from the edge of the cliff, you will still be able to see it within your horizon. And yet, you're going to develop on it a golf course and obviously a full community. For us, this was something that you probably today cannot get anywhere around, even in this region, even in the UAE, right? So to us, this is why we think this is the next hype. This is why we've done so well so far since we've launched the project, and we see it as something that is definitely the next holiday destination, especially that Oman government itself is promoting its tourism, and we are supporting their mission by developing AIDA, because obviously there's going to be a range of hotels other than the golf course and the golf club, which will bring in a lot of footfall from these international events. But also you will have your hotels, you will have the hanging suites, which I think is one of the main anchors, and the idea of it is again to promote tourism to Oman and to support the country's vision in terms of bringing more tourists to the country and more footfall to that destination.
So AIDA is, again, 130 meters above the sea. It's a beautiful location. What if a client is not necessarily looking for, say, a holiday home, right? A lot of clients now are looking to protect their funds, right? They want to take their money away from specific banks and they want to invest for, purpose of getting passive income. And very important nowadays for a lot of countries is being able to get a residency and being able to open a bank account. What's the situation here with Oman, and how can this help clients that are looking for that?
Sure. So today, I would say real estate in general. I come from a banking background, and I talk always about investment opportunities. And today, the real estate class is actually considered the most protected investment opportunity, because at the end of the day, the property exists and you have
Especially
a title
now.
deed.
Especially this time. Yeah.
You have a title deed, and yes, you like any market, you can go through a downturn, but you'll always have an upturn. It will always depend on how long you hold onto your property, and we've seen this in many cycles around the world. Obviously, in cycles like London, your premiumness becomes much lower because obviously it's 1,000 years of cycles that's gone through, versus in Dubai, we see the hype right now. I mean, some people are actually doubling, if not tripling, their property prices. And that's because obviously initially when these properties were sold, they were sold at a much less premium than what the market norm should be.
Yeah.
And I think the case is right now the same in Oman. Nobody knows a lot about Oman, which is why all of us that are working with the government to develop Oman's touristic concept and real estate background, we are selling at prices that actually will bring a lot of premiums to the investors as well. Even if this is not a holiday home for them, this is an investment tool or mechanism. But what is very important about investing in real estate in Oman, there's been a recent regulation where you would automatically, even for off-plan properties, you will get a residency, basically like a multi-entry visa on your off-plan property that gets renewed annually. And then once the project is completed and your unit is given to you, you can convert that to a lifetime golden visa. In addition to that, as someone who owns real estate and has the residency visa, you will be able to open a bank account, a banking relationship in Oman, which automatically will give you access to, also doing all your transactions through Oman, and again, that's also part of the government's way to support not only developers in getting clients into, investing in Oman, but also to support that today, if you have a lot more roots in the country, you will probably think, okay, let me open a business in Oman, let me start something. And that's part of their also plan for the country.
Okay. I'll just get a bit more technical here. So client can get, as you said, during construction, they will get visas, multiple visas, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but during construction.
Yes.
So
1 year visa, multi-entry.
Okay.
They can come in as much as they want into the country.
And your property is not even done yet?
It's not done.
Okay, so it's like having a residency visa, basically, right?
100%.
Okay, but at that time, they cannot open the bank account yet.
No, they can.
They can already?
They can, of course.
Okay.
So from that point, they're considered residents almost in a way.
But not golden residency.
But not golden residency.
Okay.
Versus once the property is completed and the title deed is issued, automatically we will convert that into a golden visa, which again is renewed, because even in other parts of the world, golden visa gets renewed. It's just today it will get renewed for as long as you hold the real estate property.
Okay.
So there is no limit on that. And obviously with the visa, you can immediately sponsor your direct family. So your
children,
wife, kids, parents, automatically. And I think a very important thing to note that the inheritance law in Oman allows you to follow your country's law. So you don't have that fear that, today you could have a certain system in place, but then the government dictates something else.
That's very important.
The beauty of it is that it follows what your country law is, and then you set up in your country what you want to do.
What's the difference of the golden visa with the normal visa?
So the normal visa is annual versus the golden visa typically is somewhere around either 2 to 5 years, depending on the profile of the client. And obviously renewable as long as you hold the real estate, but also golden visa, you're more considered as an investor in the country versus the initial one is more like a visit visa, but an annual one, basically.
The point where you can start getting the visa for a year is when you get the SPA for the property? Okay.
Yes. And we do it on the customer's behalf, so he doesn't have to do it.
You guys help with the residence?
Dar Global gets the client. Once the client says, okay, I would like to get the residence visa, we already have his passport details. We might ask him for a few more things just to sign a few application forms. And we actually apply it on behalf of the client since the SPA and everything is with us.
And the client will probably need to come at a point where they just need to get a stamp and maybe test.
Everything is done digitally. So really there is no need for the customer's presence. The only time the customer will probably need to be there is for the current account opening. Because obviously with banks, as you are aware, typically they will require you to be there for the actual account opening.
Does the client need to come to stay there for every per year, 185 days? There is a requirement.
There is, but it does not need to be, he doesn't need to stay 185, but he needs to visit the country at least once or twice a year.
Oh, okay, that's good. Okay, so here you have.
But it's not there is no number of days that he needs to stay.
Okay, as soon as he checks in, basically.
Yes.
Okay, same as here. That's awesome. Does Dar Global help with the account opening procedure?
Yes, definitely.
So same.
So the account opening actually was something that we agreed with Bank of Suhar, and it's specifically for Dar Global clients, investors. So we definitely support. Typically, we will connect the client with the bank, but our contact point in the bank in order to ease that process.
Okay, and then at that point it will start, and then they will just need to come to finish some formalities.
Complete the formalities.
They will get a debit card, the account
checkbook.
Is done. Well, I think we're clear on the project and the benefits for investors. That's, by the way, awesome. I really think that the benefits are very unique to the region, and you cannot get in a lot of places. Before we finish, I would like to ask about Oman in general. What do you think makes Oman a very attractive destination as a country? Why is Oman potentially a location? I know you're saying that it's more for holiday home, but is there a potential for growth? And if there is, then why do you think there is potential for growth?
I think there's a lot of potential actually. Today, if I look at it, I look at Dubai when the real estate market started, and this is when freehold started in 2004, and this is what Oman is going through right now. I mean, freehold is a very new thing for Oman market. So obviously, why it makes sense for the early birds to come in, just because of the fact that this is the time where when you invest in a market that is very close proximity to Dubai, that is already, getting its tourism from the GCC, so it's kind of self-sustainable and obviously has plans to grow that even internationally. That's where you make the most premiums. This is where you kind of, get the 50, 100, 200% premiums. But not only that, I think GCC investment in general, you always capitalize on the facts that you don't have taxes. So today, residential properties in Oman don't have any taxes on them. Even when we're looking at registration fees, we're looking at a 3% that is taken at the time of completion, not upfront.
Not in the beginning.
So you're not investing that money and waiting for 3 years till the project is handed over for you to, reap the results of it. And the fact that today, again, as I mentioned today, part of why they're allowing all of these new regulations of visa and bank account, they are trying to also get people or startups to start their businesses, as well as important businesses to have presence in Oman. And this is why they are providing a 25-year no corporate income tax on businesses that set up now in Oman.
So if we all know that in Dubai it started now already, the corporate tax, and of course there's some requirements for you to be, you have to be you cannot be super small, but if you're medium already, you have to pay corporate tax. There is a requirement, it's not a requirement, they give to any business 25 years from when
exemption.
Exemption. And after 25 years, if you've been there for so long, you must be a very serious company at that point, right? Then you start paying the corporate tax. Before that, you don't.
100%.
Okay, that's awesome. You guys are about to launch apartments, right? Is there anything you can share on that?
Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of details. Not that I don't like to share. I think the details are still in a preliminary stage. But you know, if you remember, we've phase one is basically that area. So you have one building and a couple of buildings behind it. So it'll be around the same area that we're looking at launching. But we don't have a lot of information. But the beauty again of this project is we're a developer that reacts to market requirements. So we will hear what the market wants from us and we'll always react. So even if the initial product could be, you know, small units or large units, the next one will be different just because of virtue of that we will keep seeing what the market is looking for before we go out to the market.
And you guys will update us also on
100%. You guys will be the first to know. Yes.
Yeah, our audience will be first to know also about the niche and we will be for
exactly.
And the last question, Paula. You guys have not just Oman. You have properties in different countries.
Yes.
Let's do a quick sneak peek because I'm sure we're going to be doing more, conversations with you for our audience. We're going to tell them about other countries. Can you tell us where else do you have properties right now that you think are a very good opportunity for people to invest?
Sure. I will start by saying Dar Global's vision is to actually cater to the global citizens of the world. And because we're after our customer segment and our investors are those global people that are not only in one place but are in multiple destinations, we're always after locations that are international hubs and that make sense for our investors. So today Dar Global initially started with Dubai. We have projects in Sarajevo in Bosnia. We have projects in Oman, in Qatar, so Doha and Muscat. We have projects in London, both in central London as well West London. And we have a project in Marbella, which is the south of Spain.
Okay, well, I hope to talk to you about them in our future videos, okay?
Definitely.
Thank you, Paula. Okay, Paula, I think...
perfect, great.
Again, we appreciate your time so much. We know you're very, very busy.
And
the fact that you took the time to answer all these questions, we really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And definitely, we're very, very passionate about AIDA. You know, for us, this is not a one-year project. This is a project that 3.5 million square meters, which means it's with us for the next 8-10 years. Everybody that works at Dar Global is very passionate about every element that comes into AIDA, not just the development team, but even us who are trying to promote and sell the product, just because we understand how important it is for Dar Global. This is our first flagship. And obviously, it's a partnership with the government of Oman.
Yeah, and you talked about early birds. I think here there is an opportunity to become an early bird, not just for Oman, but also for AIDA, right? Because AIDA just launched basically recently.
100%.
And it's going to sell for quite some time because it's quite a lot of units.
100%. We've already seen that the first buyers are able now, if they want to resell their property, they're able to make money because we've already hiked the prices. But reality, with a project like this, you typically want to have at least some groundwork in terms of construction for you to even consider. But honestly, I feel that majority of the people that are buying from us are buying it as a holiday investment destination, and they want to wait till the project is completed, basically, for them to reap the actual benefits of the product. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot for having me. Thank you so much.
А вот это, кстати, музей будущего. Это одно из самых красивых зданий в мире. А вот с этой стороны у нас находится Бурдж-Халифа. Это самое высокое здание в мире. Друзья, если вы еще не подписаны на этот канал, обязательно подпишитесь. Здесь очень много чего интересного. Paula, so this is the model of the project.
Yes.
Right? And I think the number one thing I'm going to ask is, where is the entrance? Because last time when we came, I think we came from somewhere.
So there's going to be two main roads. One is actually from the back side and one is from the side. Okay. The one that we entered from the last time was actually from the back side, which is why it took us a longer way in order to get to this area. This is the one that is currently under construction. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. And this will be the main one?
Yes.
Okay. And how long do you think this will take from, say,
the hotel, which hotel is it?
A W hotel.
How long will it take?
Listen, from downtown, you're talking about a 20 minutes drive.
Okay.
From the airport, it's a 20 minutes drive because this is like a central location to both. Obviously, the master plan will have more roads that will be derived from those two main roads to connect to the master plan, but that will open up as we launch and construct more phases, correct? But for the first phase, we will have two gates that connect you to the first phase in order to access the community. You're obviously looking at this as a mixed development. So you have residential, you will have hotels, you will have hotel apartments, as well as you have different types. You have, the standalone villas, you have the mansions, you have the townhouses, or the attached villas, as well as apartments, and hopefully we'll also bring in a very new concept as well into Oman. But not only that, you're looking at a 3.5 million square meters that has a golf course, which is going to be managed by the Trump International Golf Club. You have, obviously, other than the 18,000 square meters for the golf course, which is an 18-hole golf course, you have the golf club, which is where, you will have your retail. Exactly. You see that we've kept a tag so people know that that's the golf club.
Okay.
And obviously this is one of the anchors of the community. But I think what is also important to mention, we're not dependent on one. This is a huge development, which is why we're creating a lot more anchors to it. So we have over here a very nice concept whereby you will have a hotel with hanging suites that are basically coming out of the cliff.
That's so cool.
And there's, we're not allowed to drill into the cliffs. So there's obviously this new technology that's being used to make sure that you properly secure these suites, which I think is one of the biggest anchors we have. Now that entire area will have multiple hotels as well to support this, because this alone is more of a showcase, right?
It's like
4 to 5 rooms maximum. So obviously there's going to be the main hotel to support that hospitality product. Then you have over there a community area, which is your typical over here. Yes.
Okay.
In every master plan, you'll always have a community that supports, which also you'll have here. So you'll always find retail in different areas just to support that.
Supermarket.
Exactly. Supermarket, cafes, restaurants, laundry place, and all of that, right? Then we're looking at a lot of green spaces, okay? I mean, other than the fact that you have a golf course, right? You will see a lot of green spaces that typically will mean you have your kids play area, you have parks, you have open areas for people to enjoy and sit and all of that. Other than the fact, because this is a project that is on a cliff, there's a lot of hiking, bike trail, hike roads that is going to be available, which are not too visible over here, but it is a very natural thing to do because of the fact that we're on a mountain, right?
So here's the sea.
Yes.
An obvious question is, say I live here, I want to go to the beach. What do I do?
So we are working on a road that is specific. If you notice, for example, over here, we've created a road that will take you, but not only that.
Okay.
The team is currently, you have to understand, because this project is so big, we're constantly looking at better ways to improve access. And because we've recently added the private beach access for only AIDA residences, this is why now they are working on how to explore a much quicker way to get people from the community. It's not yet confirmed, finalized, but it'll ideally be either on this side or even on this side. Okay.
Awesome.
Now, other than that, you have your apartment community over there, and that's where, if you see, there's a street that will cut through all those buildings, and that's where typically you would create a retail strip that becomes like your promenade.
Like a boulevard.
Exactly, like a boulevard with all your cafes and coffee shops and restaurants to service that entire community. Plus, again, you're bringing a lot of tourism into here because of the golfing events, because of the hotels, because of the holiday homes. You would ideally want to also ensure that you have enough entertainment available for them as well when they come to the area. So, I mean, these are the main anchors. There'll always be small bits and pieces that we will keep adding as we see requirement by the residents. And again, as I said, this is an 8 to 10 year project for us. So it's a never ending improvement process in our master plan.
Awesome.
Где-то 1,5 года назад недвижимость в Дубае, например, в районе Бизнес-Бэй, можно было приобретать где-то за 190 тысяч долларов. Где-то месяц назад застройщики запускали проекты в том же районе Бизнес-Бэй примерно где-то за 1,5 миллиона дирхам или 410-420 тысяч долларов. Целью сегодняшнего видео ни в коем случае не было рассказать про Дубай как-то в плохом свете. Дубай — это однозначно одно из самых привлекательных мест для инвестиций в недвижимость. Но мы хотели показать, что если вы покупаете недвижимость с целью получения ВНЖ и с целью получения банковского счета, в этом регионе, в регионе Арабского залива, сейчас есть альтернативы, такие как, например, Оман. Это страна с населением менее 5 миллионов человек, и в столицу этой страны сейчас можно инвестировать в недвижимость менее чем за 400 тысяч долларов, а конкретно можно купить таунхаус с 3 спальнями где-то за 370 тысяч долларов. При этом в ближайшее время открываются продажи квартир, и по этому поводу мы обязательно будем держать вас в курсе. И при этом, покупая недвижимость сейчас в Омане, застройщик поможет вам получить ВНЖ и также поможет вам открыть банковский счет. В Дубае вам открывать банковский счет застройщик никогда не будет, никто этим сейчас не занимается. Друзья, я еще раз вам напомню, что у нас есть видео проекта AIDA. Мы побывали на самом месте строительства и показали, где вообще строится проект. Если вы еще не смотрели его, то обязательно перейдите по ссылке в описании и посмотрите. Ну а с вами был Денис, и вы смотрели канал Денис Недвиж. И до скорой встречи. Пока.